and I'll never back down. In the middle of the ring is where I lay the smack down. Against all odds, I will always prevail. So when you step to me, it's like hell in a cell.
Greetings and salutations, this is Christopher Daniels. I'm talking to my main man Delzinski right now. Any video game show, any video game channel, any YouTube channel called Vintage Shizzle is indeed hashtag Daniels approved.
Yo, alright guys, Delzinski here. Welcome to another We Talk Weekend. And as per usual, I'm joined by my partner in crime, Smack Talks. Are you ready to rumble?
I'm ready to rumble, man. I cannot wait for this. Best pay-per-view of the year.
Well, technically, it's the best pay-per-view of the year as long as the WWE do it right.
As long as Roman Reigns doesn't win it, it'll be the best pay-per-view of the year.
It's going to be one and done. That's what it's going to be. He's going to enter, and then he's going to be, at the end, the winner. I just got that feeling, like, you know when you have so much expectation going into a pay-per-view, you really want something good to come off. And like I've had this for almost like the last 2 or 3 years, like the expectation that something amazing is going to happen at the Royal Rumble, only to be left down and disappointed because the predictable always happens. So I'm really hoping that we just don't see Roman Reigns from number 1 to the end and still WWE champion.
It's there in my mind. It's an afterthought. I think it's possible, but if what's predicting is going to happen, there's a lot of predictions about AJ Styles. Maybe we could see Styles win it.
Well, there's a lot of predictions of people coming in and potentially... I found it totally interesting. I mean, today we're going to be talking mostly about the Royal Rumble. We're going to give us our previews and predictions. And as well, we're going to touch on some breaking news as well. But, you know, I was actually online looking at the betting for the Royal Rumble because every year, like I think it's like Paddy Power decide to open up the betting on WWE. And I was kind of like amazed at the sheer amount of betting that you can do. So I was looking at the Royal Rumble match and in terms of the betting to see who is like odds-on favourites to win the Royal Rumble. And at the moment, they've got...
Is it Roman Reigns?
Well, yeah, Roman Reigns is pretty much odds-on, and so is Triple H. So if you were going to be a betting man and you really didn't want to win anything, then you can bet on Triple H or Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar is the 3rd favourite. Bray Wyatt is the 4th favourite. And then it starts kind of getting a bit obscure, right? Because you got like Daniel Bryan at like 10-1, Dean Ambrose at 20-1. But this is the interesting one that I found. And this is the one that I bet on because I just thought if it happens, it would just be like ridiculous. But I mean, by the odds, the way it's changed, it could happen. Mr. McMahon, has gone from 66-1 when I put a fiver on him. I win about like 400 quid, Gone from 66-1 to 20-1. He's like, he's been backed. He's like, well, he's obviously not been backed as far as being like a favourite, but he's come in considerably. That's kind of crazy, the sheer amount of support that Vince has been getting. So I'm kind of wondering, could that happen? Could Vince do it again?
What, Vinnie McDaddy? I don't know. I can't see him win it.
I mean,
Vinnie Mac, 2016 WWE champion.
Oh my God. You know what I mean though? Like when we saw on Raw, like when we saw Vince playing with his balls, first of all, like, you know,
he was struggling though in his old age.
It was awful. It was like he's trying to get that. No, it doesn't open out. And Stephanie's looking at him thinking, "Fucking hell, Dad, come on!"
I liked when he actually opened one. Steph was like, "Yeah, he opened it."
She finally cracked his balls. You know, I mean, it was just like, oh God, this is one of the most cringe-worthy segments. But she really kind of like played up, you know, how great Vince McMahon was in the Royal Rumble. Are they trying to plant the seed there that potentially that the grapefruits are going to grow to the size of him winning the Royal Rumble again?
I don't think so. He couldn't even open the balls. How's he going to wrestle a match?
Have you seen the size of his guns? I mean, let alone his grapefruits. But, I mean, he's jacked. Vince is jacked. Did you see him counting those pins with that authority that he had like a few weeks ago?
Did he not hurt himself in the process and botch a finish?
Probably. But, you know, nevertheless. I mean, the way I look at it with Vince McMahon, I put that bet on and then I was like, you know, 66-1, now he's 20-1. I mean, quite frankly, I've probably got no chance in hell
You like that a little too much.
Good, wasn't it? But nevertheless,
Right, it's about
bet on it.
standard for you.
Oi. Right. So anyway, obviously you can bet on the winner of the Royal Rumble, and it sounds like Triple H, Roman Reigns are kind of odds on. Interesting ones that I thought were in there. AJ Styles 33-1. I'm just going through it and see if I can find any random ones. The Rock 40-1. So these are all massive ranked outsiders. The Big Show is 66-1. See, look, McMahon is like ahead of that. Let's keep going. Sting 80-1. Love that to happen. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, right.
Oi. Let's keep going. Let's go right down to the bottom. We've got like Doc Gallows, like 150-1. Let's keep going. Let's see who the worst one was.
Doc Gallows, isn't that his like name?
I can't believe these ones. Right. This is the best.
Does it tell you if people have bet on this?
I don't know, but these are what they're released, so you can bet on it. So right, let's go. I've gone right to the bottom. Right. So who do you think is the worst or the ranked outsider, the huge outsider that could win the Royal Rumble at 225-1? Come on.
I would say Sting, but you've already mentioned
No. Think outside the box.
Outside the box.
Yeah, think outside of Sting's box where he had all his face paint, all crazy shizzle. But think outside of that box to the left.
To the left, outside of WWE.
I'm not giving you too many clues, man. All right.
It's not much of a clue, is it?
Pretty much decent clue. Or to the right. I don't know.
Well, I don't know what's left.
Clues.
What's right?
Come on. Anything in your head. Who kind of pop in your head?
Gilbert.
Gilbert, well, that's a good one, but he's not in there. But I tell you who is.
Should be.
Joint last, yeah, joint bottom of the table. If you want to take a real risk with your money, if you want to put money on this, then you are quite frankly insane. But if you do want to bet on this, then you can bet on Donald Trump to win the Royal Rumble, or you can bet on Wayne Rooney to win
that would
Royal
be amazing.
Rumble. Yes, indeed. The bet is there, 225-1.
Back it.
You're flabbergasted, aren't you?
I'm flabbergasted. I can't believe it. All I would say is, I don't know. The season's coming up to a close. Maybe April WrestleMania though. It's going to be like, the high point in the Premier League. I can't see him doing it for that reason alone.
Man United aren't going to win anything. Ooh.
Arsenal's not going to win anything.
Fuck
last
off.
time they won the Premier League?
This season.
Yeah, it's never will.
I was going to say to you, just on Wayne Rooney, I think that if he did end up in the Royal Rumble, it's just going to make Wade Barrett's hair even more grey, because what the fuck has happened to Barrett? He seems to be getting increasingly more stressed out as the weeks go on. Maybe it's being in the League of Nations.
You would if you were in the League of Nations.
I mean, he's like got grey hair. And
James hair's standing up one end.
Well, he seems to have taken like hints of people. Like he's got the grey hair of like a Vince, and then he's got like the ginger beard of Sheamus. So I'm not sure what's going on at the moment. Maybe he's morphing into the pair. He's going to be like Mr. McSheamus. I don't know.
He is. He's going between them. Like I'm good pals with Wade, so next time I see him, I'll make sure to ask him.
He looks completely different from when you saw him. He wasn't so stressed out back then.
It was probably my interview that done it.
Yeah, those hard hitting questions, eh?
Banana man.
So I mean, yeah, just looking at it, that's your Royal Rumble betting. You can also have most eliminations, and at the moment, Roman Reigns is the favourite to have most eliminations. But I bet on Brock Lesnar to have the most elimination. I think that's a decent bet. I think either him or the Wyatts could be the better bet here, because I can't see that they'd want to just.
Wyatts.
Well, I can't really see why they'd want to go, or Braun Strowman particularly. I can't really see why you'd want to go with Roman Reigns, just having the most eliminations this year. I mean, considering he's broke the record, you don't have to have Brock break the record, but it would make sense that Brock just comes in and bulldozes through a good few amount of participants. Much like if you want to book Lesnar Strowman at some point, then let Braun Strowman do that.
That'd be awful, Lesnar and Strowman.
I know that, but that's not what they're prompting, that potentially that could happen. And if the Wyatts are going to eliminate Lesnar, which some people are thinking they can, then he's going to play a key part in doing that, because I can't see the three of the others. Although Luke Harper this week on Monday Night Raw was booked like a beast. He looked stronger than bloody Wyatt. I thought he looked amazing this week. He was dominating.
He always does, though. He's always good in the ring, Luke Harper.
He was booked amazingly, and I was like thinking, damn, maybe he should be the leader because Bray didn't look that strong. Why was Bray in the match as well? I mean, he's meant to be, the leader. He doesn't need to get involved in these things. It's just bizarre.
It is, but I like what they've done this week. It's just too little, too late for me.
So I mean, so if you were gonna, let's say you were gonna bet on who you think's gonna be the most eliminations, do you think it's just gonna be Roman Reigns?
Most eliminations, probably not this year because he's already got it. I think, I don't know because he's starting number 1, isn't he? So,
So I mean,
I would say he's the favourite in that case because he's starting number 1. But if I was booking, I'd say Lesnar, like just suplex people out the ring.
Exactly. So that's what you can even bet. I think. Let me just see. Can you even bet on that? What's more?
Bet on the Wyatts as a collective.
I'm just looking at more markets. No. Yeah, I think like the other day, you could actually bet on how people were eliminated. Like, would Brock Lesnar win via a suplex over the top rope or something like that? There was like ridiculous bets. So it's like kind of crazy how like there you go. You can get so many things. Let's have a look. Best finishing position for the Wyatt family. Brock Lesnar to eliminate any Wyatt family member. There's loads of ridiculous ones. First participant to be eliminated of the League of Nations. It's crazy, the sheer amount of things. Will Brock Lesnar eliminate any participant by suplex over the top rope? That was one I mentioned a minute ago. It's mad, the sheer amount of things that you can bet on.
I've just had to like load it up to have a look at it. I think if you want to make some money, the easiest one here, it's got to be the Fatal 4-Way tag team match. Just bet on the Dudleys. No one else is going to win it.
Yeah, well, I done another little cheeky bet, yeah. So another cheeky bet. We're not like telling you guys to go bet, by the way. If you're like 5 years old, don't sign up and get a Paddy Power account, all right? I'm telling you that now, all right? Your mum and dad won't be pleased. But
They will when you win loads of money, though.
Well, actually, then again, yeah. If you bet on Mr. McMuffin, then or Mr. McMahon, you will be you could earn your family a hefty sum. But I mean, I bet on as well. I did like a treble. I bet on. I think I bet on. This is going to be hard because I'm not sure it's going to come in. But I bet on Dean Ambrose to win, with Kalisto to win, and then who was the last one? And the New Day to win. So that's like my bet. I'm a bit concerned because I'm beginning to think to myself, are they really going to let Kevin Owens, be beaten as a last man standing match? It would kind of really hurt him, I think, if he's left as I
don't know. I think Ambrose has got a good chance. I think Ambrose could win that one.
It's interesting.
I don't know about Kalisto, though. I think that's probably going to go the other way. I don't think they're going to reverse it just yet. Keep him in the hunt.
I really want them to reverse it because I just think that they should see the wrong that they did. But that's the reason why I went with it.
It's worked though, hasn't it? Because it's got everyone behind him now. If you give him the title, then people are going to be happy he's got it, but they're not going to be behind him wanting him to do it.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a risky one. Anything else there that's tickled your fancy apart from Sonny, of course?
I would say, I don't know. To be honest, I would probably go with Triple H in terms of the Royal Rumble. I think Triple H's got a huge chance.
Yeah, but it's a bit short.
It is. It's very short. That I don't think I've seen odds like that short before. But in terms of who's going to win, I would say Triple H makes sense. You mentioned the Wyatts eliminate Lesnar. I could see them do that to get him out. And I think Reigns will be the last man. Triple H, whether he's in it or not, I think he'll eliminate Reigns. But then he's got to be in it if he eliminates him, I guess.
I think it'd be kind of interesting, though, if you bet on Triple H not to be in the Royal Rumble, if you could bet on that, because I mean, there's no guarantees that he's actually going to be in. I think we all just assume he's going to be there.
We'll all assume he will.
Yeah,
but
that's what's making me laugh. I'm thinking to myself, Christ, imagine if we're all wrong and we don't get that and we get Vince instead. So
I can't see Vince. I can see Triple H, obviously. I can't see Vince in there.
Well, we will see. I was going to say, one thing that you probably bet on was most definitely announced this week. And before we get into all our Royal Rumble predictions and go full blast into the Rumble, I was going to say you were probably betting on Sonny doing porn, weren't you? Yeah?
Who wasn't at this point? It was kind of obvious. Was she not already doing it technically anyway?
Technically with herself, yes, she probably was doing that.
Did the J-Man actually get in touch with her? That's what I want to know.
Oh, well, for a moment, I had the T-shirt packed up, ready to be sent, dispatched, and then he broke the news to us that he was playing us a little bit.
No way.
Yeah, basically, we sit down. Well, the J-Man wanted to get, and if you haven't seen the J-Man, check out his YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description box below. But the J-Man decided to try and reach out to Sonny, as you do, you know. And usually, if you reach out, you probably get to touch something you're not quite sure of. I'm not sure. If I could go into any more explicit jokes, I would, but I'll draw the line there. But he did decide to try and get in contact with Sonny. And we thought for a minute he'd succeeded because he wanted like a little promotional video for his channel. And he got a response and it was kind of hilarious. And I was like, what? So yeah, I said to him I'd give him a T-shirt if he did it. But he somehow had orchestrated some sort of spoof account, which he... which was not true. So no T-shirt yet for the J-Man. But I mean, he should have just come to you. You would have hooked him up. I mean, you know, you're on good terms with Sonny.
Yeah, I've got loads of T-shirts. I can hook him up with a T-shirt.
No, I mean, I was talking about your relationship with Sonny. Everyone seems to be thinking that you two are like two peas in a pod.
Well, this all seems to be you instigating this. I cannot seem to escape this fact now. Just for the record, I am not a fan of Sonny. I just want to make that abundantly clear.
Yeah, he is not a fan of Sonny.
Whereas Dale, on the other hand, before we even started, he was like, how come you get all these tweets? I never get put in these. I'm feeling a little left out. So I think everyone should like make sure to include Dale in these tweets because we don't want him feeling left out. Obviously, he's already checking out Sonny's Twitter, so he sees a lot of our pictures, but feel free to send him some more.
I'd just like to clarify for Smack Talks here that just to lay it down, obviously, he's not a fan of what Sonny does because, in fact, he is a massive fan of Sonny. So that's what we had to just clarify there.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to block anyone that mentions Sonny. There we go.
Oh, you bitch.
Said it.
Oh, you pig. Oh, you greedy pig.
They're going to have to try it now, see what happens. I'll go CM Punk on everyone.
That is... You're so mean.
Well, I'll block him for a day and then I'll be like, I can't block him.
He ain't going to block anybody. He's too nice. He's
too nice.
Nice. That's what Sonny says all the time.
I'll redirect everyone to you instead.
Fine. But yeah, I mean, it's. Oh, but she pulled a Hall of Fame ring off the shelf of eBay, I heard, or something like that. So she's not selling a Hall of Fame ring, which I just don't understand why the WWE have not like. She even in her Twitter, her name is like WWE Sonny or something. You know, surely WWE have got to like pull rank here and just say, look, you're out of the Hall of Fame. I mean, we won't ever consider China, but you're going to keep on doing this kind of stuff.
Well, I think she's like trying to push this to like see how far she can go before she gets removed.
I'm sure
because
she is.
It seems to be a bit of a game, doesn't it? Like how far can she go before they remove her from the Hall of Fame? Did you not see the comments that she made on her account? The like language she was using? I don't get how she can get away with this, and yet Hulk Hogan can say one thing and be instantly forgotten. I
saw when she said every hole's a goal.
I didn't see that one. That doesn't surprise us though.
I saw it as well when she said she's conquering Twitter one man at a time. She didn't say any of these things. I'm just thinking.
She didn't.
Just rolling off the tongue.
I'm surprised they haven't got a list of Sonny's tweets there.
Should we divulge this week? I mean, I've been inundated with
what are you going to divulge? What you've been up to with Sonny?
Nothing with her. Just been numerous tweetage of Sonny.
You've been tweeting her.
No, I should really. We don't really endorse it, but there's a.
Well, I think people should let me know if they want us to, get in touch with Sonny and have her endorsed.
Really?
Wait, you bring her up all the time. You're obviously a massive fan.
Jesus, can't be getting in contact with her. She crazy. She's crazy. Well, I'm trying to find all these tweets. You said you had a whole load of them.
But I did, but I didn't read them. I just seen them come up and I was like, I'll ignore that one.
I'm just having a quick look. You got to do some filling again this week. I cue the filling.
See,
spot.
You never get yourself prepared for this.
I was prepared. I prepared the betting segment.
That one segment.
I'm not going to do some sort of cheesy like line music like. See, so you can feel instead.
See, that works.
It does, but it can't keep that
It's
up.
better than some of the hold music I've heard.
Come
I
on.
can't find any either.
Yeah, let's just go to Sonny's tweets. Let's go. Here we go.
I'm looking at some tweets though, because I put the question out there earlier to see who people wanted to see in the Royal Rumble, so not necessarily win it.
Someone said Sonny.
No one said Sonny, surprisingly. I got, obviously, the obvious ones, AJ Styles, Finn Balor. Tamina, do you think we'll see any divas in the Rumble?
No.
No?
No.
I think Tamina's someone that could eliminate someone. She's that powerful diva, like a Beth Phoenix. She's done it before.
What, you think there's going to be a diva in the Royal Rumble, do you?
Why not?
Well, I know why not, but do you really think that's going to happen? Is this something that you believe is going to happen?
I wouldn't be surprised if there was. Was it Beth Phoenix that eliminated the Great Khali?
It may have been. Can't cast quite.
See, divas have a history in the Royal Rumble. Give divas a chance, Delzinski. What about Austin Aries?
Wait. We will talk about Austin Aries because that was some breaking news. That is awesome breaking news. But 1 second, because I have found a tweet that she put out this week. And, oh man, it's always the question, though, that she responds to. She's just... So someone said, did you ever have sex with someone right backstage? Yeah?
I think I got sent this one.
And she put Sean daily for 9 months.
Yikes.
Sean must have ruined her. Oh my. I bet he wouldn't touch her with a barge pole, though, now.
I don't think anyone would.
Maybe that's what fucked up his eyes, all that sex with her. Oh, I'm on fire. I'm on fire today. Someone put me out.
Please put him out.
I think we could divulge more this week into some more tweets, but we'll hold fire because we want to talk about that breaking news, which was absolutely awesome. What I woke up to this morning was the fact that Austin Aries is now in NXT. I mean, it's awesome. I thought this would happen much sooner than it did, to be honest with you. When he left TNA, he's already had quite a lot of interaction with the WWE. Even when he was in TNA, I think he was filming some of the voiceover pieces for some of the WWE games. So it was always kind of thought that Austin Aries would make that move, but then it kind of was like he was going to NXT and it went quiet, and I was like, oh, maybe he's not going to do it. But he arrived, and I've seen clips of him arriving. Looks like he's got t-shirts already, good to go. I haven't seen too much of what he did. I just saw that he came out, keeping his name, Austin Aries, AA.
I was expecting Jacob Cass. Maybe take his like WWE 12 persona.
That's what I was talking about. But I mean, wow, yeah, I'm glad they kept his name. But I will put a question to you: is the fact that we're seeing so many guys now moving over. I mean, what we're talking about Bullet Club, we're talking about Nakamura, AJ Styles, we're talking about Austin Aries. We've seen James Storm come and go. I mean, when you weigh up all of these guys coming in, what does that? Are we getting too much of an influx? Because I know, like I've said before, that their policy in the past of not going out and signing guys that have been in different companies was just stupid. But like now we're seeing so much, like literally the sheer amount of signings and the decent signings. Like these are guys that I think can come in and be like top level, like can get involved on the main roster at some point. And the fact that they've signed so many makes me kind of think, well, what are you going to do with all this talent? Because you've got all this talent and you're using them on NXT. But then, like, when you look at that main show, surely what I'm trying to get to here is surely you could start, and I know it sounds a bit harsh, and you're probably not going to agree with this, but surely you can start removing those guys that really haven't lived up to those expectations over time, like the social outcasts, and start then deploying like your Austin Aries into there, and guys that will literally keep you locked on for 3 freaking hours.
I would say I think this is probably going to be a case of, we used to get post WrestleMania releases, and there's usually quite a lot of them. I think this year is probably a year when we're going to see quite a lot of people released after WrestleMania. But I don't know, at the same time, I think they'll probably go with expanding NXT to maybe 2 hours, just to kind of fit in this talent. It in regards to Austin Aries, though, is this going to be a case of, James Storm coming, he wrestled one match and then that was it? Is he only wrestled one match at the tapings, or
depends if he's got a deal? Like, because obviously James Storm never really had a deal. He had he was almost like a free agent, and it was like a tryout. So whereas I'm hoping that Aries has got a deal, and I think Aries may be the sort of guy that might, I don't think that money is always the be all and end all with some of these guys. Like with Storm, it came to like his family, and he wanted to put food on the table. So TNA just kind of pushed the money in his face, and obviously TNA had something they wanted to do with him. Now with Austin Aries, I think he was with Ring of Honor when he left, but I mean TNA again would have to make a significant bid, and also then they'd have to prove to him that he is like going to be booked at the top level. Because I think that anywhere else, Austin Aries is like your top guy, and TNA proved that when they actually did give him the ball. When he won that belt, everybody was like going crazy when he became the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Everyone was like, TNA get it. CM Punk tweeted about it. He was like, at last, they've got a champion there. And then they fucked it all up by like not booking him properly as a champion. But, in WWE, he may not become that level of to that degree, like of a world champion, but he's certainly an awesome talent. And again, I'm still thinking to myself, on Raw, you have like some sort of cruiserweight division. If you really did go and basically steal the concept of the X division, placed it on Raw every week, imagine the sheer amount of talent you got there in that cruiserweight division. It would be phenomenal.
It would, but it's just whether or not to bring back the Cruiserweight Championship, because I'm sure I said this a couple of weeks ago. I would love to see it. I just don't understand why they need to have a United States and an Intercontinental Championship and no Cruiserweight where it's something a little different. You've got two belts that are exactly the same.
Yeah, and then he can give like Tyler Breeze a chance, because for fuck's sake, how much more do you want to ruin Tyler Breeze? I mean, it's just there's so many opportunities here.
I had some news on this, because apparently the reason that he's getting buried is he went home early from a TV taping. And apparently Vince had found out, and that's the reason for it.
I'm hurt by this.
It's stupid, isn't it?
Totally hurt by this. I mean, why? What's the problem with that? I mean, just come on. I mean, the thing that annoys me about that, right? Not so much, you can give someone a telling off, you can punish them, but don't punish them on live TV, for fuck's sake. I mean, all you're doing there is ruining somebody's credibility. And when you ruin someone's credibility, it's very difficult to get it back. We've seen that from like Adam Rose, Bo Dallas. Once their gimmicks didn't work and they were like jobbing for a few weeks, you can't really recover from that in the WWE, because the WWE don't tend to try and pull out the stops to make it credible again. Tyler Breeze is falling into that bracket.
Thing kind of happened to Triple H, and he spent a year getting buried.
He did, but Triple H, I mean, let's review the situation here. Tyler Breeze in this day and age, it's not. It just doesn't. Can you see Tyler Breeze pulling a Triple H? Triple H's gimmick is slightly different. Then I can't see it. I can't see them fixing Tyler Breeze. Can you? Can you sit there and legitimately think that in 12 months' time, Tyler Breeze could be a champion of some sort, and he's going to be like in the place where he needs to be? I'll tell you where he probably will be. He'll be back in NXT.
The place where he kind of wants to be.
He should be, yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think you could get to a point where it's a good point. Like, all it needs is a face turn. And if he comes out with his selfie stick, gets involved with the audience, that's all he needs. Everyone's going to get behind him.
Oh, no.
What?
Don't make him a face. He doesn't need to be a face. He's just a good heel. He's
but
like
it's
Rick
not
the Model
working, is it?
Martel. It will work. It will work with persistence.
Is the selfie
effort.
stick getting him over as a heel?
It would get him over. It would work. He should every week he should just basically defeat someone and take a picture with them looking like a complete and utter uggo. It's booking genius that needs to come in here and, grab some things by the grapefruits and sort this shit out.
Nah.
Come on.
I'm not having it. I think like the only way to do it at the minute is a face, because this heel run, it's been absolutely rubbish.
It has, but is that his fault or is that the WWE's booking team's fault?
It's his fault for going home early.
Oh, come on. All it takes, right, is that if you just consistently booked him well as a heel for weeks, they just haven't made that effort. And then they put him in a match with fucking Mark Henry, and Titus. Titus sets him up and throws him over Mark Henry's head, and he just goes splat on the floor. I mean,
that was hilarious to watch.
It's so depressing. It's not difficult. Watch main event. I can book Tyler Breeze better. I do book Tyler Breeze better. It's not hard. It's not difficult.
It's easy to do when you think about it, but WWE just don't get it.
If you ever cast your mind back to WWF days, and you had guys like Rick the Model Martel, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and you had like these guys that had these gimmicks that really shouldn't really get anywhere. Like they're just kind of cringeworthy, but they did. And I know it's a different time, but you could have like the Honky Tonk Man as a credible Intercontinental Champion, because although he was the Honky Tonk Man, he had like the heelish like mean streak in him to try and beat people. And that's basically what you need to do with gimmicks like Adam Rose, Tyler Breeze and co. Make sure that although they've got these outlandish gimmicks, they still can do the job in the ring. And that's what they did with him in NXT. Booked him like that. Simple as. What they did when he moved into the main roster was immediately brought him up, didn't give him enough exposure to build with in the first place, and then they put him in a bunch of positions where he couldn't really win.
Well, it's just questionable. But no, it's not just him. It's obviously a lot of the people that's gone up from NXT, the Ascension, just to name a few, Adam Rose. There's so many people that just, it makes you wonder why they don't continue on the same path on NXT, because that's tried, tested, and working.
I know, it's absolutely unbelievable that you can do, and all you're doing is hurting yourselves, because you're losing these guys to, like, they're getting eaten up by the 3 hours, and then they just end up falling into obscurity, and it's awful, really. It's bad to look at, because I think like Tyler Breeze at the time, I was always like saying on NXT, he's potentially the one guy that they never made NXT champion that should have been champion, and then I'm like now they've put him up to the main roster. I was rather him have kind of stuck around and just continued his quest to try and become NXT champion. It's just annoying. It's very shit, and that could be a worrying factor for someone like an Austin Aries, and maybe James Storm saw that kind of writing on the wall that he might not be used properly and decided to think, well, I'll go back to TNA.
Well, I think looking back on it, James Storm, I don't think he was ever, fully in the mindset that he was going to stick with it. I think he just went there to test the waters, and he was like, I'm not sold on this. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's right for me. I don't know how I'm going to get booked. Aries, on the other hand, I think he's someone that he's going to go there, and he's kind of wrestled. He's wrestled all over the place, and I think he wants a new challenge. So this is something different. James Storm was primarily always TNA, so it was what he was used to. Aries has wrestled all over the place, so he's used to going different places. I think this is a new challenge for him. And I don't know if you noticed, but the Titantron they come out with the Austin Aries logo, he had the same thing on the T-shirt. So it looks like they've already got the T-shirts and things made up, which is the same as Samoa Joe. So that to me says there's a deal in place, and he's going to be staying there for the next year or so at least.
Yeah, and I think with Storm, the first time it was just his name, wasn't it, on the board? It wasn't really, and then they did work on it over like the next week or so. I don't think they produced him a T-shirt, but they did build his like Titantron and stuff. But I think that Aries is built for that sort of the NXT slot though. I think his size, his shape, his the way he works in the ring. I mean, you'd love to see him taking on like the Balor Club if it ever comes to fruition. So I think he really does fit that mold. Storm, I didn't mind Storm. I thought if Storm persisted, he'd do all right. But he's not really. It kind of sounds a bit silly to say it, because you've got people like Bull Dempsey, different shapes and stuff. But he's not kind of that NXT sort of mold, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, well, they've got like slower, bigger wrestlers like Bull Dempsey's, Baron Corbin's. I think it's harder to fit someone else like that, like a James Storm, in there. Whereas Austin Aries, he's someone you can kind of fit in against anyone. He's kind of got that style where he can mix it up and he can go against anyone that they've got.
I mean, I look at that NXT roster just going from strength to strength to strength. And then I look at the main roster and I see all the injuries and I'm thinking depleting, and it's quite depressing. And it's almost like, when do you start saying that we need to just really, really change it? Like, could we see that after WrestleMania, that we start seeing guys coming through and we start pushing? And I do unfortunately think, and it's not like, I don't really like the social outcasts. I don't want to see people like lose their jobs and stuff. But I think when are they going to start thinking, well, we need to make Raw into a proper good show now, like a really good 3 hours. And what we need to put in there is guys from NXT who can hold their own and put on these amazing matches. And start thinking about storylines there. And unfortunately, there will be sacrifices that would have to be made. It's all WWE's own doing. It could have been rectified much more easily. Adam Rose, for me, could still be a decent heel. They just don't put the time into them. And then they lead them to this, and I'm still going to say it, this clusterfuck, which was the social outcast. And I will say to you, Paul, it hasn't got much better for them. I don't believe that they're getting any better or any stronger. I watch it and I think this was an awful decision.
They were doing like pretty well in terms of wins. It was only this week when they got annihilated, like in that one match.
Who by?
Big Show. Was it Big Show?
Mm-hmm.
But he's a giant going into the Rumble. That's how you should be booking Big Show.
He's like 66-1 or something when I looked him up earlier. He ain't gonna win.
I've got the odds in front of us at the minute. I'll tell you where he is.
What was he?
I can't find him.
He's out there. He's out there. He's out there.
7-1. He's won.
What?
Like, yeah, Big Show's 7-1 on here.
What are you looking on?
Paddy Power.
He was not that. Wait a minute.
He is 7-1. I guarantee it.
No.
Social Outcasts will have Heath Slater 40-1. Adam Rose 66-1. Bo Dallas 66-1, Curtis Axel 66-1. So basically, they've got a better chance of Donald Trump and Wayne Rooney.
If I did it on the app right now to win the Royal Rumble, to win the 30-man Royal Rumble, if I bet on the Big Show on the app, I would get him for 66-1.
I think I'm looking at Final Four, not because I wanted all the social outcasts in there. So
you misleading mother trucker, you.
I can't see Big Show win it. What's his odds on win the Rumble?
66-1.
See, it's a good shout.
It's not. Mr. McMahon's a better shout.
What's the social outcast odds to win it though? Is it 150-1?
Well, they can't all win it. They might as well try. They're still never going to win a match at WrestleMania.
They can get down to the final 3, battle it out.
Poppycock. No way. Anyway, I think Austin Aries is a great signing from the WWE. Hope he's going to be there long term. It's going to be exciting to see. And let's transition, because we've already started the debate. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble match, and let's get involved in our predictions for the entire Royal Rumble match card. Obviously, we've talked about the betting of it. I think it kind of speaks for itself. The expectation is Triple H is going to be involved. Whether or not he is or isn't, we just have to wait and see. But I think that the most boring outcome, and we've said this as well, that if Roman Reigns went from 1 to win, I'd be pretty peeved if that's the case, because I would see no point in having him in the Royal Rumble match on that basis. I was a little bit reluctant when they announced that it was going to be the championship on the line in the Royal Rumble, because it was like, then they left it a week to announce who would be number 1. The Big Show said he was number 1 and completely fucked it up. But, I was kind of thinking to myself, oh God, no. We're going to have him as number 1 and he's going to win it. And that's the worst outcome that we could ever have. As I've kind of come to the conclusion that I'm hoping that they won't do that, but we've seen on previous years, like for example, expectation was Batista would win. He won. If they let Roman Reigns win, then he'd be so over. But previous years, Cena's gone all the way. So WWE tend to throw a lot of curveballs at it, but ultimately go with the expected. If they do that, it also, for me, defies the point of the Royal Rumble. The excitement is that anyone could win it. if they don't have anyone win it and they have Roman win it, I'm just going to be sitting there and I will probably have the right hump.
Well, you won't be the only one. I think everyone in the crowd watching around the world, everyone's going to feel exactly the same. Because the Royal Rumble is all about, having someone win that is unexpected. Anyone can win it. Like social outcasts. And it's a case of if they don't do that, if Roman Reigns retains, it makes the whole Royal Rumble pointless, especially this year, because it's not someone going to WrestleMania. It's the championship. So it's like the Royal Rumble never existed because you've got the same person the champion there was before it, and there's nothing that the Royal Rumble's then impacting come WrestleMania. So it's like a throwaway pay-per-view, and it doesn't mean anything at that point.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. If Roman Reigns did it like number one to win it, it doesn't have that feel of like when Ric Flair was in the Royal Rumble. I think was he number 3? I think it was number 3, wasn't he?
I think it was pretty early.
Yeah, and he came in, and then it was like the whole match was really based around Ric Flair, and I think Bobby the Brain Heenan sold it like incredibly well, the commentary on it, and it was like you kind of wanted Flair to do it because Bobby the Brain Heenan was like all the time, this isn't fair to Flair. Everyone kept trying to pick him off and get rid of him, and I was just wanted Ric Flair to do it. I'm not going to have that feeling for Roman Reigns. I'm telling you that now. As much as I don't mind Roman Reigns, I have nothing against him. I would not be sitting there thinking to myself, please let Roman Reigns win this. It's not there for me. It's not there. So I have to see something happen that's going to excite me. And there's a few scenarios that would. And I think that, potentially Triple H arriving, even if we expect it to happen, that's kind of cool. People will pop to that. If AJ Styles is involved, people will pop to that. But if AJ Styles is involved, he doesn't actually have to be a participant in the Rumble. He could maybe be part of the Bullet Club for Triple H. Because I don't want AJ Styles to be in the Royal Rumble and then just get eliminated by Roman Reigns. See, so there's pros and cons to all these things. We could see a lot of interesting stuff. Going with the norm is going to screw it. And Daniel Bryan should not come back at the Royal Rumble. Full stop.
What, you don't want to see Daniel Bryan come back and Roman Reigns just eliminate him? Last man.
If he eliminates him and wins the Rumble, it's not a problem. If he comes back and gets eliminated, then it's a problem. It's madness.
But I think if Daniel Bryan was to return in it, he has to win it. I think if he gets eliminated, then the crowd's going to go absolutely insane once again. In regards to Reigns, AJ Styles, if Styles debuts, I think if he's part of the match, he has to win it. If he debuts and he doesn't win it, I think that's like a big mistake. If he debuts as part of the Bullet Club and they just attack Reigns and eliminate him for Triple H, something like that, I could get behind that. But in regards to the match itself, I think if he's in the match, then he has to win it. Otherwise, what was the point in debuting him in the Rumble? Why not just wait till Raw or something else?
Well, nevertheless, at the moment, my excitement is high. Like for the Royal Rumble match, I'm not thinking there is scenarios there, but it's been like that every year. I've been so excited and left so underwhelmed when it's all said and done. You got to think that WWE could not do it again, could they? They could not cock it up again.
Well,
Surely.
I think what they're doing is they're kind of hoping that we'll get behind Reigns and we'll want to like take that journey with him and watch him go from 1 to 30. But it's not there. And surely they can recognise that and they won't make the same mistake as they did last year.
It's not. It's like I said, you just don't have that sort of like Ric Flair-esque Shawn Michaels over the years where you wanted to see someone win it so bad. It's just never come off with Reigns. It's difficult. It's difficult. I'm worried as much as I am excited because it's like as you'll soon know as you're getting through the match if Reigns is like I don't know. It's quite intense to actually think about it. If I'm going to pick a Royal Rumble winner,
how would you book it? How would you book it for main events?
I would have maybe one of two scenarios. I'd probably actually, if I rolled it all into one, I'd definitely have a superstar who clears out a lot of superstars. I don't think that should be Roman Reigns. I would say that when Brock Lesnar hits the Rumble, and I'm loving the fact that Lesnar's in the Rumble, but I'd have Lesnar take out a lot. Then I'd integrate that with the Wyatts maybe taking down Lesnar. But if they do that, I'd really want Bray Wyatt to go all the way to the, I would want Bray Wyatt to win the Royal Rumble match, because I feel if you're willing to commit that, if you're willing to make that happen, then you can open up the door and really push Bray Wyatt properly then, and you could have potentially Lesnar versus Wyatt for the title with the inclusion of the Wyatt family in some shape or form. And if you do that as well, you can open up the door to the Authority with Triple H or Vince McMahon screwing over Roman Reigns, and you've got your Triple H Roman Reigns match. Ultimately, this can all come round and have Roman Reigns get the belt back at some point. But that's the way I would want to see something happen. Otherwise, I kind of would expect that Lesnar will win the Rumble with help from the Authority. I would love to see the Bullet Club involved. I think it's a bit of a risk. It might not be worth going for that. Maybe save that for the Raw or something like that. I just want to see something that excites me a bit. And I don't know whether people would shit all over having Bray Wyatt win it, but I think that because you fucked him up so badly, what better way to get him back on track than just having him get the gold? And the way they've been booking him recently with the family picking people off, well, what better way to do it? They have the advantage in this match. They are a team, basically, and they will no doubt bail out if Wyatt gets to the final four. They'll take a sacrifice for him. Surely you could do that.
Absolutely, yeah, I totally agree with that. I would say I would book it very similar. I would have Triple H eliminate Reigns. That'll set up their match for WrestleMania. They can lead into that. I'd have Lesnar kind of dominate the Rumble, eliminate a lot of people. And then when it kind of gets to the end, number 30, I would have the lights go out. Bray Wyatt be number 30, but the rest of the family be in the ring when the lights come on, and they'll all attack him and eliminate him that way.
Well, that's what that's what they've got to do. They've got to. There is an opportunity, and I've said this about how many times I've fucking said this about Bray Wyatt. There's an opportunity to get him on track here. You can get him going, and you can really make him something. If they can do that, then now's the time. Don't cop out on him and get him eliminated easy peasy. I have a tendency to think that Lesnar will eliminate all the Wyatt family. But you could really use Braun Strowman as that henchman to get rid of Lesnar as part of that Wyatt storyline. He could be the guy that kind of helps them overcome him. It's there. It's really there. And what better way to take everything in a new direction away from the Authority's pure focus on Roman Reigns? And someone tweeted me the other day, screenshots of every week of Raw, and every week of Raw was Roman Reigns starting and then Roman Reigns ending. And it's like,
it's that John Cena effect, isn't it?
You don't want that. I think that if you're gonna book Bray Wyatt now in a positive fashion, it's there. So just go for it. Take the risk. What harm will it do? People aren't that hyped about Reigns winning it anyway. So, it would be a massive shock and a massive surprise. And I think that if people shit all over that, then people are never pleased.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's a good time to give him that chance, because even if, giving Bray Wyatt the title and it doesn't work, it's not like this is for WrestleMania. So there's still a chance they can kind of switch things around. I think it's Fastlane that's coming up next. If they realise that, Bray Wyatt's not going to cut it for the main event and they can kind of switch things then, it's a perfect chance to give someone the championship.
If you want to get Bray Wyatt going after he wins the belt, or if he takes the belt at the Rumble, you then start expanding the family more. You start recruiting people. You start making sure that people can't get to him. So if you want to get to him, you've got to go through the family. And Braun Strowman as almost like the last line of defense. It's really easy. It's really easy to make him almost, even the Authority could be trying to say, well, we can't control the Wyatts. It's that sort of thought process that kind of, if you make it that it's the Wyatts versus everybody, you know, you kind of think to yourself, well, that's how I would book Bray Wyatt. He doesn't want to be associated with anyone else. And you can start getting involved with Sister Abigail and all that stuff starts opening up. So for me, if we were going to go for like a shocker or something that really would be cool, I'd go with Bray to win it. What about you?
For a shock, I would go Bray to win it. Realistically, I would probably say Lesnar.
I don't mind Lesnar winning it, but I think then it just sets up Lesnar Reigns.
It does, but to be fair, they had a decent match last year, so I wouldn't mind seeing it again. And it's a good way to give Lesnar the championship. And you know he's not going to be there all the time. I know he has been booked for quite a lot of shows and a live event, I think, in February. So it's a good time to have him as the champion where, you know, if he is committed to them shows, he's going to be on TV. So it's not going to be like before where the championship's been off television. And because it's just a short time leading into WrestleMania, then he can obviously drop the title at WrestleMania. It's give Brock another little run with it. And I would quite like to see Brock as the champion if he is going to be on TV.
Do you think he's going to be drawn like middle, or do you think because I don't want to see him coming at number 30? Like that would suck dick if he actually comes in at number 30 and like then takes down people for the final four. Like I want him in the mix. So
he always seems like totally knackered, like a couple of seconds into the match. So I don't think he'd go like the full route. I think he'd probably come in around 20 when the ring's quite full and just start suplexing people all over the place.
I think we will see, I hope, a moment where potentially you can't do it. You can't do it because Reigns is in there. I don't see Reigns getting eliminated until right at the end unless Lesnar chucks him out. But like, because I was thinking you could have that point where he's dominated so much he's on his own, but he's never going to be on his own, is he? He's never going to be on his own to just chuck people out when they come in because unless they do something with Reigns that he lays on the outside for almost half of the match, he's always going to be in there with Roman.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of hard that way. I think Reigns has to be one of the last few. It kind of adds to his story as well because he's like started at number one, he's gone all that way and he's come so close, but he hasn't got there.
Interesting. So what's your actual pick? Because I probably would say my actual pick is Brock Lesnar.
My actual pick's Lesnar.
And then my optimistic pick is Bray Wyatt. And my ultimate not pick, because I don't want it to happen, is Roman Reigns winning from number one.
I would kind of agree, but I'd switch out Bray Wyatt for Triple H. I'm kind of like on the fence with it because I would go for Triple H, but technically he hasn't been announced, so I think I'm going to go Brock Lesnar. But I could definitely see Triple H winning it. I just hope Reigns doesn't. That's the only person I don't want to see win it.
Yeah,
you're not going to stick with Mr. McMahon.
That's the rank outsider. That's the huge one. If that happened, it would be kind of crazy because then you would think that anything can happen. But,
would you like to see it though? Because the Vince McMahon stuff, it hasn't
really lit up, has it?
No, it hasn't been the same as it used to be.
I don't know. If there was something interesting coming of it, it might work. But it really... I think, though, I will say, although he couldn't crack those balls this week on Raw, he did look like he was getting more back into the old Mr. McMahon. It felt a bit more like he was feeling it a bit more. I think he's taking a little while to get himself back into Mr. McMahon mode. But, I mean, yeah. All I can sort of see, though, is like this thing where in my head is like he's not in the Rumble, but they make him in the Rumble. So, like, let's say he eliminates Triple H, the crowd goes, like, insane. Then he puts himself...
Triple H is like, Vince, get him.
No.
I can't see that happening.
Then he puts himself in as 31 and runs in the back and tumps him over, like they did with The Rock. Because if
that's
they're going
what I was going to say. Do you think we could get to number 30 and Reigns thinks he's won it, but then Triple H announces himself as a number 31?
Yeah, I think they're going to pull a 31 on us. I think they're going to do something like that. Hashtag pull a 31. That's what we should be going for. But I think they could. I think they could do that. Like, at some point, we think it's over. It's not over. Screw you, Reigns. Someone else is coming to get you. Could it be the Bullet Club? Could it be Triple H? Could it be Mr. McMuffin? Maybe.
We could see him come out, Vince come out, or Triple H, and just be like... You know, like when we got to cash in, and he's like, "This isn't over yet. Get the next person out here," and we get like a 40-man Royal Rumble, and they just keep throwing them out there until eventually Reigns gets eliminated.
Could
see the Bullet Club. Could be a good way to bring them in.
I would like to see it like it gets to like he wins it, and then all of a sudden you hear, "I was just a boy," and then he just comes out, "Stand back, stand back," and he comes out there. It's a fact, and then he just wins it. And then because he can come out and go, "I promise you will lose." That's what he can do, can't he?
Who?
You never heard the Vince McMahon song, surely?
Oh, right. I thought this was like some theme music or something. I was like, hang on, who are you bringing out here?
Vince McMahon, "Stand Back." Yeah?
Right. Yeah, I know where you're going with it now.
Baby,
I was like,
don't
what's
just stop.
theme music?
Baby, baby. Come on. Baby.
I don't watch all these clips. You've been busy like watching loads. You've had Hogan and his thong and everything this week.
That was awesome though, wasn't it, to be honest?
What the hell?
Hulk Hogan. It was because I heard it on the AJ Styles interview, wasn't it? Hulk Hogan.
I've seen it on the What Culture interview,
Yeah, it's funny as fuck. It's brilliant. Loved it.
I don't think AJ was impressed.
I think he was. I think he was jealous that he didn't have a wrecking ball.
So what do you think of his chances, though? Do you think he's going to be in the Rumble? Because he's being vocal about it. He had like a live show last week where he said, you know, if there's a spot in the Rumble, I'll be there and I'll kick some ass. And I don't know. I think it's all a bit too vocal. I don't think if he was going to be there, he wouldn't be saying them things. And we've got Balor posting pictures. Cena's posted a picture of him. WWE have even retweeted that and like kind of made a point of putting it on the website saying, what does it mean? The fact that Cena's tweeting this picture of AJ Styles.
What you could do is he doesn't have to be in it, but at the end of the Rumble, when Reigns maybe upsets us and wins, is he could come out and do the Bullet Club gun at him, and like just at the end leave you with the thought that AJ Styles is in town. Do you know what I mean? So I know you don't want to see Reigns win it, but I mean at least I don't want to see AJ Styles in it if he don't win it. It's pointless. But you're booking him bad if you're doing that from the offset.
Could you see AJ Styles in a WrestleMania main event though? Because that's ultimately where it's going to go if he challenges Reigns or if he wins it.
Not straight away. So that to answer that bluntly, no.
Who could you see him working with then if he was to debut on Raw and kind of start a program with someone?
Let's filter through who I think could work for him. Kevin Owens, probably.
Does it not feel like a letdown though? Because everyone's kind of expecting him to be main event here.
I would have thought Seth Rollins would have been a choice, or I think he should join the Authority. He's not. I think that they should be part. I think the Bullet Club, although it sounds like Gallows and people going to NXT, I think that they should join the Authority and be part of that.
Do you not think it's going to be two separate things though? The Balor Club, I guess it'll be, and then AJ not a part of that. If you think of it, it doesn't make sense to have AJ in the Bullet Club because he was kicked out of it.
Yeah, but then it doesn't really make sense in general because Finn Balor's promoting the Bullet Club heavily, not the Balor Club. He's promoting the Bullet Club. Their WWE have promoted the Bullet Club. It's been Bullet Club T-shirts. It's been Bullet Club this and that and everything else. But yet you're then going to join them as the Balor Club. It doesn't. I mean, the whole promotional aspect of it all hasn't quite been right. So I would never have promoted Bullet Club the name because that's not what they're going to come to the WWE as unless WWE have pulled this fast one and bought the rights to it. So,
well, I know they've trademarked Balor Club now, but the latest I know on the Bullet Club is that it's still owned by New Japan.
Well, see, this is what I mean. So it's a difficult one to understand. Because you just kind of think to yourself, you spend a lot of time mentioning the words Bullet and Club, and then it ain't gonna be the Bullet Club, is it? So I don't
Bullets
know.
Club.
I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do it. So we'll wait and see. I don't think it's worth him being in the Rumble if he's not going to win it. If he is at the Rumble and he does something, then cool. But we'll wait and find out.
What's your chances on someone from NXT winning the Royal Rumble, like a Samoa Joe? Would that be a good way to bring someone from NXT up to the main roster and shock the world?
Kind of would be, but it's close to like none. That's not going to happen.
I can't say. Can you say anyone else from NXT though? Like having a huge impact in the Rumble, and it then brings them up on the main event.
Don't see the point of bringing up Finn Balor to be in the Rumble if he doesn't win it. Again, it's all about winning with this stuff. It's like you have these. Remember in the past we've had people come in, like we've had Bo Dallas, I think, debut in the Rumble, and it's
who did we get last year? Can you remember? I'm sure there's some NXT talent.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. It wasn't Bo Dallas, was it? Yeah, it was the year before.
I think that was the year before when he eliminated Barrett. Maybe
Like Tyson Kidd previous years and people like that. I don't know. But it just tends to be like, a flash in the pan if they come up. They come up and then nothing else happens from it. It's not worth doing that. It's definitely not worth risking that with like a Finn Balor character.
not even Sami Zayn.
Why?
Way to bring him back to the main roster because he was destined for it before and then he got the injury.
You could do, but I don't see the point of him just getting dumped out. I don't really see the point of anyone just getting dumped out unless it's controversial.
Well, there's 29 of them going to get dumped out, so someone has to.
Yeah, I know that, but in terms of the NXT side, I think that Zayn's just picking up this program with Finn, isn't he, at the moment? Or is he coming, try and look into that? Is that what's going on?
Possibly. Well, it looks as though like heel Finn is what we're going to get because that was what I got at the live event with Sami Zayn. And I thought that kind of gives us an impression of how they're going to go with this. And if the Balor Club come in, Bullet Club, it works with a heel Finn Balor going up against Sami Zayn.
Yeah, so if they go down that route, then it's absolutely sort of fine, but it doesn't require them to be in the Royal Rumble match. So I don't see anybody from NXT lighting up the Royal Rumble in terms of going all the way. They might include some people, but I just hope they don't just bury them in the process. Like, have them come in, do something exceptional, and then maybe get caught off guard and taken out by Brock,
Yeah. I know we've kind of dipped in and out of all these different people, but I do want to ask you your opinion on something else in regards to AJ Styles, because TNA put out a statement yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Did you read it?
The indicating that they had potentially agreed a deal previously with him to come back, and then he obviously optioned for WWE.
What did you make of it?
What I thought it was cheap publicity for them. I don't really. I kind of get why they do that, why they jump on the bandwagon of it. I don't know what AJ Styles would think of that. I don't know if it was true or not. I doubt it was true. Maybe it was true. It's kind of a risky thing.
If they're putting it out, I think it had to be true. I think if it's if you're a company and you're in that situation where someone agrees to a contract with you, but they don't sign anything, and you kind of just go on the word, then you always like have the option of like someone dropping out of it if it's not officially done. I think it's bad business though for TNA to actually put that out there and tell people about it. It makes TNA look stupid because they haven't locked in that deal in the first place. And when you think of it being someone like AJ Styles that's contributed so much to them over the years, and they made a point of saying that in the statement, then why are you kind of bashing him and doing that to him? I just don't understand it. I think it's really bad from TNA. It makes them look really bad.
I'm not entirely sure why AJ would want to go back to TNA at the current timing of what it is. I mean, he would be better off of sticking in New Japan if even if the WWE hadn't come up, or Ring of Honor. I don't, unless it was a hell of a lot of money, which we kind of can see that they have tried to do with people like Storm, but I don't see the point of it. I mean, he would become the instant top guy. That's not at all a problem, but it wouldn't appeal to me. The way that they fucked it up before wouldn't appeal to me. And I mean, I'm going to be watching this week's Impact today, and I don't have high hopes for it considering something that I found out this week, and it's almost made me think, like, what the hell? Because I'd said a few things in my last review about guys who work well together, and they have seemingly shattered all of that. And I've also heard rumours of people leaving, and they've made a decision to put a person that potentially is leaving in a position of where it's ridiculous. And they've also defied the point of their world title tournament. So, yeah, when you look at all of that, why would AJ Styles want to go back to that? It
doesn't make any sense, does it?
No.
And he's done everything in TNA, so there's nothing else for him to really accomplish. It's just a case of go past his new challenge, something different, just add to his legacy, really. In regards to James Storm, though, do you think that's been a good move for him going back there? Because they've got Beer Money back together. I think that's a good move. I think he's probably better off there with Beer Money than in NXT. Because like you said, it's harder to fit him in.
Yeah, I guess if you weigh that up, but then I think he could have maybe tried it and seen how he got on. I mean, if you get being offered a lot of money and your family's your priority, you're gonna go where the money goes. That's that's business, that's job. Anyone else would do the same. Unless, let's say, you haven't got a family to support, then you might want to take the cut and see how things plan out. I think him going back with beer money is good. I didn't. It wasn't quite as sort of like exciting as I felt it could have been. It felt a little bit like when DX reunited. It was almost a bit quirky like that. So I tend to think it's worked to a degree, but there is a big market that they need to tap into with that. So they need to make sure that they go and get tag teams back together, because I'm pretty confident they're going to go down a Beer Money Wolves route now. But you need to start them building around that. So you need to start reaching out to tag teams around the globe who you think can come in and try and knock the Beer Monies of this world and the Wolves off of that top spot. So if they can do that and they get their tag team division back, that's great. I still think they need to do the X division as well, but it's a starting point. The only thing I'd say as well, though, is if you're doing this, like Bobby Roode is then taken out of the world title picture, so you're kind of like limiting your world title picture of guys that could be involved in it.
Yeah, I totally agree on that.
So I don't know. I think time will tell whether that was a good decision or not. And it also depends on financially where TNA are. I don't think they're really in as much trouble as what they thought they were in. I think that all their cuts and stuff have secured that. But yeah, I mean, just on the indication of hints of what's going on at the moment, I would say that they've made a massive mistake on what they've done this week. And I will tell people that when I do my review, because I cannot understand the booking again. Much as I talk about WWE, I cannot understand why people can't just be consistent.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Surely they can stick to one thing and go with it.
Well, by the sound
not just
of
chop
it,
and change.
Yeah, by the sound of it, they have literally just chopped and changed. It's frustrating. Anyway. Let's give some predictions of the other matches on the card as well. So, what have we got?
I forgot those are the matches on the card.
I know.
I thought we were done.
There's pretty much there's not been a lot of build for these other matches, so we'll kind of breeze through them anyway. And I mean, we have got a match where we're going to see people involved in a qualifying match for the Royal Rumble. It's a tag team match, and they're going to bound to try and slot this in to try and get people hyped early, I guess. And it's a bit of a misfits match, because we've got Darren Young and Damien Sandow versus the Dudley Boys versus the Ascension versus Mark Henry and Jack Swagger. Now,
WrestleMania main event there.
Kind of stupid that Darren Young's not paired with Titus O'Neil. But I mean,
well, that just says to me, Darren Young's definitely not winning this because they've already got Titus in. They don't want to give him a spot.
Yeah, so I mean, like you said earlier, you can really not go any further than just look at the Dudleys. That would mean Mark Henry's not going to be in it this year, so I don't know.
I think they've got enough big men this year, though. They've got the Big Show, Rusev, Strowman, Lesnar. There's lots of big guys. You don't want to fill it up with too many. I think Mark Henry's someone that they can kind of skip past this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go Dudley's on that prediction basis. I just can't get the Ascension. It's so unfortunate what they've done to him. It's just incredibly bad. So I have to discard them. Mark Henry, Jack Swagger, uninterested in them. Darren Young and Damien Sandow. Well, Damien Sandow's he's tried his best, but he's not. They just don't get him. So I mean, brush those aside. Just leaves with the Dudleys.
Yeah, I can't see anyone aside from the Dudleys win this.
So, yeah, pretty simple prediction to kick things off, I think. So, if we go with this all the way through, I think that potentially you could have this ultimate bet on your hand. So, I'm going to go with that first off.
Are you putting money on all these to come true?
Maybe I'll do this. I'll put a little bit on and see how much I get back. So, let's just...
Not much.
Yeah, so let's just see what we get. So, let's say I'll go with predictions, and I'll also, I think... on that Royal Rumble aspect, would I I would say you're better off. If you're going to go with bet on all of these matches, I think you might be better off saying Roman Reigns is going to win from number 1 as well, because it's like almost a given, maybe, or Triple H.
Well, I would say definitely Final Four, but the odds are still short.
So anyway, let's look at the other ones, and then I'll make my decision. So then I'll go with the Divas match: Charlotte versus Becky. I think I really want to see Becky win the belt.
I really want to see her win it, but I think this is going to be a case of Charlotte retaining it. I think they'll probably keep eye on the hunt for this a little bit more, because they're doing such a good job of building Charlotte up as a heel. I think having Ric Flair in her corner, it's worked so well. It's really got her over as like that heel character, which works so much better than when she was a face and she didn't really get much of a reaction at all. Meanwhile, Becky, it's the same thing as Kalisto. You know, everyone's right behind her. They want to see her win it, but I think they're probably going to delay this as well.
Can I just ask you a question? Is Paige a face or a heel now? You tell me.
She's a face with Natalia.
It's pathetic, isn't it? Pathetic.
Who she was attacking like a couple of months ago.
Absolutely awful. I mean, how can you keep on doing this? I mean, face, heel, face. It's just shit. No wonder why no one cares.
It's like the Big Show, isn't it? Just switch between them.
So, I mean, yeah, it's just awful. And Brie Bella got pretty much buried this week, I thought.
Absolutely. I think this is kind of the Bella's reign over Divas division. It's kind of over now.
It was like she was like, Brie mode, and then it's just like it's over, it's finished. See ya, Brie. Laters, potatoes. You know, it was awful. But anyway, back to this match. Yeah.
Do you like what they're doing with Ric Flair?
I like what they're doing with Ric Flair. I don't get people that don't like Ric Flair. I like Ric Flair. Ric Flair is a legend. Ric Flair is entertaining regardless of what age he is and how he participates. He's always entertaining. He's given that. All he's had to do is basically just be Ric Flair and be the dirtiest player in the game. And all that's doing is rubbing off on Charlotte. So what's the problem with that? Why don't people like that? I mean, I
think it's awesome.
Yeah. And eventually his little tricks and stuff will and I hope it's not too soon, will mess up, and it will lead to them breaking up, I guess. But at some point that will happen, and if you keep that going for a long period of time, you keep Flair helping Charlotte, she becomes quite a credible champion in terms of people respecting that she's had a long reign, and then ultimately he screws it up for her. So I mean, I would like to see Becky win the belt, but I think, and if I'm looking long term, Charlotte with Rick is the way to go forward. So I think, prediction wise, probably Charlotte's better.
Yeah, I think Charlotte's got to win this. I think it's like a bad decision to drop it now. Maybe keep this till Fastlane, maybe get like a few more people involved for WrestleMania then. Yeah,
you don't really want Rick to cost her at the Rumble. If he costs her at the Rumble, then it's like, oh, we're going to start arguing and questioning whether she should be, having him in the corner. We don't need all that yet. We can do that much later on down the line.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think maybe now is not the right time, but I definitely want to see Becky with the title reign in the near future.
Yeah, I don't really want to see, just being honest with you, I don't really want to see Paige anywhere near the belt at the moment. I think her character's lost. Why would she just be in Natalie's corner? I'm expecting her to turn on her at some point. I don't want to see any of this. It's rubbish.
I kind of see this going Maybe Paige could be brought into it, but I think if Sasha's okay from her injury, leading into WrestleMania, I want to see Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha in a match.
Yeah, I don't really want to see Paige anywhere near at the moment. I think they need to go away and redefine what she is. She's not an anti-diva. She is a diva.
She's a total diva.
So, yeah, let's wait that out. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to go with the tag team match. I'm going to go with the New Day versus the Usos, and I just might as well be honest. New Day to retain. Don't see the point of the Usos getting involved and winning the belts. There's nothing new about the Usos, so if the Usos had come back and been a bit more different, looked a bit different, had a bit different edge to them, excellent. There's no newness with the Usos. New Day to win.
I've gotten the Usos on this.
Why? Well, do you want that to happen?
I don't know why. I don't know why I did. It's just, I've just got a feeling that they might win it this time. Going into WrestleMania, it wouldn't surprise us if like WWE put the championships on them. And to be honest, I kind of like the championships changing around every now and again, so it's quite often. I don't want like the New Day to keep them and for it to become stale. I'd rather the Usos maybe win it, and then we'll get like a couple more teams also in there.
But I can't see why it was the Usos that were the chosen ones. Like, if I was going to book a team to push,
Well, it's been like that for years though.
I'd have gone with the primetime players.
Tag team of the year.
Primetime players would have been a good feud for the New Day over a long period of time. They didn't give that enough. They didn't give it enough room to maneuver. So they spoiled that, and now we're back with the Usos just doing dives over the top ropes and super kicks, not as good as the Young Bucks.
I would say let the Usos win it. Bray Wyatt wins the Rumble, and then the Wyatts end up winning the tag titles off the Usos.
I would like to see an all-round dominance of the Wyatts. That's what we need to aim for, to be honest with you. It's a bit like, wasn't it when the Hart Foundation had all the belts, or had at least a fair chunk of the belts? I think we had the tag belts in there. Even at points when Shawn had like double belts in DX. I mean, it's good, always good to kind of see when people have like a lot of control. I like that. So not to the degree when Cena won both belts, but you know.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like something that we haven't seen for a little while now, and it's good when you get like a faction that's really dominating. And I think that's kind of the thinking in this. I think if the Usos win it, they're more likely to drop the belts to someone like the Wyatts than the New Day are, because you've got like two kind of heel factions going up against each other. I don't see that happening. I would say the Wyatts will win this, like probably at WrestleMania against the Usos. But I see the New Day in there anyway. I don't think they're going to drop that. But the best thing about the New Day is they don't need these championships. Like, they can come out, cut promos and things as they've proved in the past, and they don't need to like hold on to these championships. I think the championships make another team.
Do you think though, with the New Day, potentially the novelty of the New Day is not as quite sparkling as what it is before? Because I kind of tend to find a little bit that it's
gone to like kid like at the moment.
I mean, it gets a bit
Rudy.
Yeah, it gets a
Rudy.
bit.
Rudy. That's kind of how it feels.
It gets a bit too much sometimes, and I kind of think that the reason why we all liked this was because it was like, you know, it was a bit different, and then it's becoming more standardized of like, oh, we think this is funny, so you should do that this week. And so I kind of hope that they're going to revisit that. I don't know. It's always the trouble with these things, you know. At first it's great, and then the novelty. I'm not saying the novelty's worn off. I'm just thinking that they don't have to be so much every week. Again, it's too much sometimes, and I think, do you know what? Was that funny? Or am I laughing because I want these guys to keep succeeding?
Yeah, I think that is part of it. I think that's one of the reasons why I think dropping the titles might like change things up a little bit. At the moment, it just feels as though, you know, Vince is backstage saying like, how far can we push this? How ridiculous can we go? How can we make money out of this? If we get you new t-shirts with unicorns on, if we get you a unicorn horn, we can sell those. It just feels like it's kind of being sabotaged a bit, and it's not, you know, them three guys doing what they want to do and getting over from it. It feels like they're getting pushed into doing all these extra things that, you know, maybe they're not entirely happy with, but they're having to do it anyway.
Yeah, originally it was like organic. That's how it was made, and now it's just kind of, it's the standard. WWE have got their hands, their grubby little paws all over it, and they're deciding to make it WWE-esque. So, yeah, I mean, I think the New Day are going to retain, so I'm going to go with New Day.
I'm going to go Usos.
Okie doke. Okay, so what else have we got left?
We have a last man standing match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
We do. I talked about this match in a commentary, in like a simulation match, and I quite like this match. I think it's been built all right, but does concern me that they had that big brawl like 2 weeks ago on SmackDown on the USA Network, only to now have a last man standing match which will probably have all of those same spots in it. So I kind of, and I also thought it was an awful end to get you going into the feud with, I think, I mean, I haven't seen SmackDown this week, but the week before, they had Dean Ambrose challenge Kevin Owens to a last man standing match, and had that silly little drum roll, and
Yeah.
I'm like, this match should have been put into a little portal or pool of legitimacy and a proper rivalry, like face to face, eye to eye, nose to nose. They just don't like each other, and every week it's getting more heated and built up suspense, and then they go and do the silly little drum roll. They've got Sheamus there. It didn't need any of this. All it needed was Owens to come out face to face, eyeball him, a small exchange, and maybe then pulled apart, because you'd already shot your load. I've said this before, when you did the USA Network brawl, which again, for me, I think that this could have been handled with a lot more care, and you could have got to the point where it's combusting at the Royal Rumble for the last man standing match. And we should all be thinking, what are they going to do? Because they've been building up for weeks. Again, I just don't feel that they did that. I feel that they went too far, and then they went all kind of like gimmicky and quirky again.
And I totally agree on like the gimmicky and quirky bits. Like they didn't need that. I think that's the difference between NXT and the main roster. You wouldn't get that in NXT. As far as it goes, though, I don't mind the fact that they've announced it. I think it's a good addition. It's not very often that we see gimmick matches on standard pay-per-views. It's usually like saved for Extreme Rules or TLC, something like that. So it's pretty cool to see last man stand match on the card. I hope they start doing this more often this year and they kind of mix the pay-per-views up a bit, because it sucks when you just get like all singles matches. So I'm looking forward to it for that aspect alone. I think it'll be a good match. I think it'll be like a very intense brawl that goes throughout the crowd and around the stage. There'll be a spot where Ambrose tries to bury him in chairs like he usually does, the chairman in the WWE. I don't know. I think it's one of them matches that can either be really good or really bad. I don't know which way it's going to fall. But either way, I think I see Ambrose retaining this. I don't think they can give the title to Owens.
Yeah, that's what I went with. I went with Ambrose winning. It's just how they do it that they don't detriment Kevin Owens, because I think that last man standing match, Owens meant to be like, a bit of a beast himself, and if he just gets like counted down, there's got to be maybe a dodgy way that he gets kept down, like we've seen in the past when people push like the announce table on people, they can't physically get up. Possibly we could look at something like that, just something that keeps him down and he can't physically get up. I don't think he needs to be beaten to a pulp to not get up, because I think that maybe if Ambrose gets the same beating as well, then yes.
Could we see them both down for the count?
Yeah, we could see that as well. I'm just concerned for Owens, because the more that you let him lose these sort of matches, the less likely you can ever see him being like at that top level with your Brocks of this world, because he just wouldn't be able to box with them, So, and I still believe, and I don't know, I still don't think this does anything for the Intercontinental Championship. I feel that the Intercontinental Championship would be better sat with guys like Tyler Breeze, and build the division around those guys, because you've not got a cruiserweight belt, and you would have credibility with someone with Tyler who's got a strong gimmick and holds the belt, and have you guys like Ambrose and Owens all up in that top segment of the areas, because I feel that Kevin Owens is like a world champion, and that they're brawling for something that really, I don't know. I've just got that opinion. I kind of feel that these guys should be in the top level, and the Intercontinental Championship could be used in a better way.
Yeah, I completely agree on that. I think whatever happens in this, if we do get a winner, it's going to hurt the loser. And I don't think it really does too much for the person that wins it, especially if it's Ambrose and he's just retaining.
Like just the way we've talked about this match, have we even mentioned the belt? Rarely. It's rarely mentioned, because there's no focus on the belt. We're more focused on it's a last man standing match between these two. I don't feel that the Intercontinental Championship has any impact on this match at all, to be honest with you. So that's just where I fall down. It's like
I think Owens has brought it up about taking away the title, so it has been mentioned, but the focus isn't really on it. The focus is on these two.
Yeah, I want someone to take the belt and just constantly talk about being the Intercontinental Champion. And for me, Tyler Breeze had that nailed. You know how you can do that? You can use the selfie stick, taking pictures with the belt, looking at himself in the belt. It was there, it's man-made, it's ready to go, and then you build the division around him. And you kind of have it like it was back in the old WWE days. You just get people kind of coming up there and trying to face him. I just think these guys are better than the Intercontinental belt, and they should be above that. But at the same time, the Intercontinental belt deserves focus, and these two guys aren't the ones to give it that. The only one that's ever given that is Daniel Bryan, and that was just because they were going for that Cena effect with the US title. But I don't think that's necessary. You just need someone who people dislike, like a Tyler, who's got a big personality, like a Tyler. So that's what that's where I come to with the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think it needs anything else.
You just need to like have someone like a Tyler Breeze that really shows it off and shows like it means like a lot to them, regardless of the matches themselves, who he's facing. Just it's all about the title, because like you said, if he's looking at himself in the title, taking pictures with it all makes sense. It's a good way to put the title over as well as the person.
Yeah, you've got to make that statement that it's all about the belt, and this ain't about the belt. It's just about these two brawling and fighting. And like I say, as long as they don't damage Kevin Owens, I think Dean Ambrose will win.
I think so. I think Ambrose will win. I kind of do think it'll be a draw, but if I was to choose a winner, I would go Ambrose.
Yeah, I mean, let's move on to, I think it's the final match, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. We've covered everything else, so we've got United States Championship up next, I think.
Yeah, we have. We've got Alberto and Kalisto. And yeah, obviously I've already bet on this, but I want Kalisto to take the belt back. And you made a really good point to me prior, I think. No, you made it on the show, I think, this week. Cool, we talked about it a lot this week.
Well, we kind of mentioned it in passing, that, it done what it needed to do, giving Kalisto that really short reign, because everyone now is behind him and they want to see him win this championship back. But I think it's a bad move to do it straight away, because you kind of kill that if you give him it. It's like when, Reigns was like going for the championship and would just started to kind of get behind him because he had Sheamus cashing in and everything else. And it was like, I want to see him win it. But then as soon as he won it, it was like, oh, well, Reigns is the champion now. Like, I've kind of lost interest. And I think it's similar with Kalisto. It's all about the chase and not actually being champion. So I think in terms of that, I think they're going to prolong this and we won't see him win it back straight away. I think it'll probably be Del Rio that retains in this one. Kalisto put on a great match. He'll have a great showing yet again, but I think he'll fall short. I just hope he doesn't tap out as soon as he puts the arm breaker on, the same as he did on SmackDown.
Yeah, someone commented on that though, that you pointed that out and said that apparently he was putting the arm bar a bit beforehand, so that's why he instantly tapped out after that.
I don't believe that, because he tapped out before it was even on. It was ridiculous.
When Kalisto won the belt, I was quite excited. When he lost it, I was kind of disappointed. But then I kind of starting to come to the realization of, why is this for the United States belt? No one's really championing the United States Championship, are they? There's not, between the two characters, or the two superstars. It's the belt. Characters, yeah, no, it's not cartoon, is it? Feels like it some weeks though. I mean, if you look at that, if you weigh it up, do you really think that Del Rio and Kalisto represent the United States Championship?
I don't know. I don't think this one's about the championship either. Like, it is obviously about the championship in terms of he's trying to win it and wants to see him win it. But I think this is between the two of them.
It is. But for Kalisto, I guess it is because if he wins the belt, everyone gets excited that he's won a championship. It wouldn't matter what championship, it's just a belt.
Yeah.
But
Del Rio, he just seemed to be annoyed that, he'd lost Kalisto and he made a point of really beating him down and winning it back the second time. He doesn't like luchadors and Mexican wrestlers, judging by his past.
It looked like he was going to kill himself when he was on the top or the second rope having a go at Roman Reigns this week on Raw. His neck muscles look like they're going to explode. He needs to calm down. I think he's annoyed the fact that he doesn't get to wear his tights on Raw, because he's got these new tights that I've seen in a few pictures. But every time he comes out on Raw, he wears trunks. He wears those shitty trunks. Those
It's
shitty
good to
gold
see
trunks.
him mixing things up a little bit. Like it's so like rubbish the tie that he's got with the trunks.
He should wear the other one. The other one's
Yeah,
better.
I don't think like it'll make us change much of opinion on Alberto Del Rio if he wears pants. He's not going to be suddenly amazing.
Could be.
But it is a good change. Like I think he needs to change his style because he looks exactly the same as he was when like he left in the first place.
Yeah, I saw a picture of him at the house show, and I was like, actually, do you know what? That looks quite good. So I hope he's, and then I'm expecting to see him in that, and he's back in the pants again, and he looks crap.
It looks like a diaper on the game as well.
Oh, Bo Dallas looks like a diaper. I don't know. I think it's cool that Kalisto's in the mix. I'd like Kalisto to win. But like you say, when you mentioned that, I kind of sway to what you're saying about the chase, and that sounds like a good idea to me, that he keeps chasing and people keep behind him.
Oh, it's not looking good for your betting, yeah?
No, not really. But we'll wait and see, because like you say, we tend to think to ourselves, well, they won't swerve us here, but they'll swerve us here and then they won't swerve us in the Royal Rumble. So,
Well, if we think that makes sense, it's generally the opposite option.
yeah, so I'll stick with what I said. I'll stick with Kalisto, but it does make sense for Alberto to retain.
I'm going to go with Alberto on this. I think it makes more sense to have him retain the title in this one. Keep the chase going for Kalisto. So yeah, Del Rio, unfortunately.
Cool. So that is our Royal Rumble predictions. And guys, if you agree, disagree, if you want to talk about any topics on this week's We Talk, let us know by the comment section below. We want to get your views on all the topics, the Royal Rumble, Austin Aries, Smack Talks and Sunny, everything going. You've got to get involved. So yeah, make sure you do that. Comment. And I can feel him just going, fucking mention Sunny, you're good. Fucking.
Well, like I said, you can't get her out of your mind. It's you that keeps bringing her up. People really need to just like tweet you these pictures so you can see them and you can get your take of Sunny daily.
I bring her up and then you just take her down.
Ew.
Yeah, ooh, indeed. So yeah, get involved by the comment section below, and I guess because it's been quite an exciting week in terms of everything. So have you got any shameless plugs for us this week?
Well, due to community creation's been completely broken, I've been doing a few different things again this week. So instead of Community Showcase, we've got some On This Day recreating what happened in past days in WWE. So we've got some Royal Rumble simulations there. We've got 5 dream returns for the Royal Rumble match, which you can check out. This week in wrestling will be up today, so that's a little recap show, nice and quick. And then tomorrow, you're going to be doing this as well. We're going to be doing our first round matches in the 2K King of the Ring.
Yep, we will be. I loving all the new content, by the way. It's very, very cool indeed.
Cheers, man.
Stuff. So yeah, and yes, we will be updating or uploading the first round matches of the 2K King of the Ring. So who is going to be the King of the Ring? We've got you in there, got me in there, got Luigi, PS3 or PS4. We've got
PS4, she's upgraded now.
She has upgraded. We've got Tony the Pizza Guy, got Willpower. We've got, who else have we got in there?
Gotta mention Denk, put this all together.
I was waiting, I was going to save him to the end.
Oh, right, yes, I get it.
You spoiled it now.
But you've gone and forgot everyone else.
We've got Big Red, NY.
Yep.
And I think and of course, my opponent, who was CM Pulse. Can't forget him. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of YouTubers involved in this, and it's quite cool to see the community coming together and working together on something that's going to be released on a good day for wrestling, because we've got the Royal Rumble as well. So it's all kind of building to that. So
it is, and it's only the beginning as well, because this is only the first round matches, so there's still a long way to go.
Exactly. And obviously when I go all the way and win, you'll all be proud and you'll all be happy, just as when Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble. Of course, yeah?
I would say no, because, we could be meeting in the next round. I'm going to have to take you out.
I don't want to go on a date with you. You can keep that stuff with Sunny, thank you very much.
I hear you already booked up with Sunny, so... I'll take you out in a different fashion and just beat the hell out of you.
Nice. Thanks for that. Is that what you do when you go on a date with Sunny? You beat the hell out of her?
I've never been on a date with Sonny. I didn't want to, like, step on your toes. Stop that from you.
Okie dokie, okie dokie. Anyway, it's going to be interesting. The 2K King of the Ring tournament. First time ever, I think we've had like a big tournament on YouTube. I don't think many have tried to do that before. So yeah, big props to Denk for sorting it all out for us. He was the guy that came up with the idea, and yeah, it's going to be cool. So we're all going to get button bashing, and someone's going to be crowned the king.
It's got to be me. It's got to be the King of Kings, the game, Triple H.
Yeah, but the dead man's just going to bury you all, isn't he? He's going to make you all rest in peace.
The dead man's going to be buried himself. He'll be resting in peace.
Rudeness. Anyway, guys, go and check that out. Obviously, like I said, the match is tomorrow. And as well, from my side, I've got TNA review. Yeah, I'm going to be ranting. It's likely. And we've got as well Saturday night main event. That will be uploaded tonight. See, I said that we were going to downscale in terms of things, but still catching them weekly. And I think that we've made a few adjustments which have made things much better. It will just be pay-per-views that will get spread out a little bit more to give us more time to create those pay-per-views. So, I mean, all in all, it looks like it's going good. And main event is tonight, and it's almost as such more of the aftermath of the Wyatts and their onslaught on the SNME roster. What is Stone Cold Steve Austin going to do about it? Is he going to fix the issues that are going on in SNME? You will find out tonight.
We'll have to tune in tonight to find out what happens. I'm so glad it's weekly and that you haven't delayed it.
Yeah, so we're going to try and keep those episodes coming weekly. It's just going to be pay-per-views that need a bit more time, and I think that
makes perfect sense. It's good as well, and it leads to, like, better things if you've got more time to do it. You're not rushing to try and get something done, and then the product kind of falters from that.
Yeah, and we're trying to make the pay-per-views more unique. So we're going with created arenas, not so much standardized WWE ones. So we're doing that. Gives us that time to just add that to it. So yeah, it's all good. So guys, I guess that kind of brings us to the end of this week's We Talk. Make sure you check out the Royal Rumble and you let us know your predictions in the comments section below. Is it going to be a good one? I freaking hope so. I'll be live tweeting the event. I'll be up and watching it. Smack Talks, are you going to be watching it as well?
I shall be up and watching it, so I cannot wait.
Cool. And
I might even do a pre-show live stream.
Will you? Oh, very nice.
Possibly. Well, I done it last year. Last year for TLC. So it went down pretty well. So I might do the same thing tomorrow night.
Sounds good. Yeah, make sure you go and check that out if he does indeed do it. And also, I'm hoping, just to mention, final bit, I hope the J-Man's going to be doing egg predictions.
I hope so. He tweeted out yesterday saying, if he gets 5 retweets, that he'd record his reactions. I hope that includes some eggs. Did
he get the 5 retweets?
I think he got more than 5. I think he got about 15, 20.
Excellent.
Excellent.
So, yeah, hopefully he does that because it's awkward as hell.
We need a J-Man segment every week.
Well, if he produces some magic, he may very well get featured weekly.
He always produces magic. Have you not seen his universe?
I have seen his universe. I have indeed seen it.
It's a very good rival to yours.
That's what everyone keeps telling me. He's kind of creeping up the rear. Yes, indeed. That sounds awkward. Jesus Christ, what's going on there? But yes, indeed. Check out his universe mode as well. I'm going to link to the J-Man's channel because he's a good lad. So and plus he sung the theme one week and over Christmas, and it was magical.
He's a good egg.
He's a good egg. So yeah, make sure you do go and check out his channel, and obviously we'll be watching the Royal Rumble. I'm pretty sure there'll be other YouTubers watching it as well, so get involved in the interaction on Twitter over the weekend. So all that's left to be said is please rate, comment and subscribe. This is Delzinski, hyped for the Royal Rumble. And Smack Talks, are you going to catch us later?
Catch you later.
Yep, let's sign out.
Hi wrestling fans and gamers, Velvet Sky here, and I just want to say I've been hearing a rumor that Delzinski.com is the best place for video gaming and wrestling content.